Do you think you need acres of farmland to grow wheat? I grew mine in a tiny patch in my front yard, and today I'm turning it into fresh flour. I'm going to show you exactly how to harvest wheat, even in a tiny garden like mine. You'll see when it's ready, how to separate the seeds from the stalks by hand, and how to turn those seeds into fresh flour. All this came from just a 5 by 4 foot patch in my front yard, and it's way easier than you think. Let's jump right in. The first step is to harvest the wheat. But how do you know when the wheat is ready? So, one of the things to look for is number one, the stalks will be completely dry. They'll be brown like this. And the head pods, the seed pods, and the seed pods will be brown like this and very dry to the touch. They'll also start bending. They'll form this kind of bend that you see. And to the left, I have one that is not ready, so I have still some green. And to the right, that's the seed pod that is ready. Once you determine the seed pods are ready to be harvested, you can harvest it with a tool like this that I have in my hand, or use scissors, or the best one actually is just use your hand and snap off the little pods with your hands. Once you harvest all the wheat, next here I just separated the stalks from the seed pods, and I ended up with 2 bowls. Now that we have separated the shaft from the long stems, the next step is to separate the seeds from the shaft. What you'll need is a cloth bag, a fan, and a rolling pin or a stick to hit the seeds with. And you want to put all the seeds inside the bag, and then you want to start hitting it with the rolling pin or a stick. And this is to separate the shaft from the seeds. And you can go pretty hard, and it's gonna start looking like this. And at this point, you can still hit it a couple more times to keep separating the seeds from the shaft. You can also rub it between your hands pretty aggressively, and the seeds will actually start separating pretty easily too. Now that I've separated the shaft from the seed as much as I can, you're gonna end up with something like this. So next we're gonna transfer it to a bowl, and this is where the fan comes in. You can use the wind as well, but I highly recommend getting a fan. You just pull it up and let it drop, and the fan will take away all the shaft. The shaft is lighter than the seeds, so the seeds will drop and the shaft will just fly away. And after a couple times, you'll end up with something like this. You'll start seeing more of the seeds than the shaft. And this is what you'll end up with, just the seeds. And at this point, you can either store it or use it right away. If you store it, make sure it's in a jar or paper bag and put it in a shady area and that is cool. I was curious to know how much I got from a 5 by 4 feet plot, and we got 327 grams. Next, we went ahead and grind the wheat to make it into flour. After grinding it a couple of times, we ended up with flour, which was really exciting. And this is how it looks like, and now it's just ready to be used. So I'll show you what we end up doing in a couple of weeks ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and happy gardening.